Good morning. Today we are working down at the cabin, but first we have some chores to do around the homestead, and the roosters are crowing. They're very loud, our little silky roosters. They think it's morning all day long, but it really is morning right now. So we're going to get the chores done and then head down to the cabin. Here you go. A little update on Bossy Cow is that she's doing really good. She is getting quite far along in her pregnancy now. She is, I think, about 4 months left to go, and she's doing good. She's nice and healthy, and she's enjoying her oats every morning to keep her weight up. And yes, so hopefully by the end of summer we will have a little calf. Hi, lady. Now that the chores are done, we're down at the cabin, and today's exciting for us because today we're going to be finishing up the first room in the cabin. So the first one to get the finishing touches, all of the stuff past just putting the walls up. So we're going to be working upstairs today, and we're going to be painting and putting down some flooring. So yesterday we went to the store and looked at the different options for flooring. And we need to get this room all wrapped up before we're able to move on to finishing our plumbing. Eric's just finishing up the chores, and he's going to be coming down with the truck with our things that we need. And it's very exciting that we can finally get the truck down in here. It's been pretty wet and our road's been bad. So now that it's a bit drier, and Eric did a little bit of road work. Also, Eric's done a bit of logging, and he's cleared some trees. The reason we're doing this is so we can get more sun on our solar panels, and then also we want to have a bit of an area down here that we can eventually have our garden and our chickens and things, and so eventually we'll have a bit of space. But today we're going to go inside the cabin. So lately inside the cabin we've been working on, and by we I mean my dad and husband and grandfather, they've been working on the plumbing, and we've wanted to be able to test the plumbing out, and we need to do that. We first have to get our tank all set up upstairs. So up in the room we're working on today, which is our upstairs closet, we have our big water tank, and that tank is going to feed all the taps and stuff below. So before we finish up the plumbing, we want to be able to test everything out, and to do that we need to have that tank fixed in its position. And to have that tank fixed in its position, we need to have the flooring all laid underneath of it so it doesn't have to move again. So that's why we're going to be going upstairs to do that. This is my favorite view of the cabin. I'm so excited to wake up every morning and come out and see out these windows. But for today, we're going to head into the bedroom and look at the closet. So we're going to put, as you can see behind us, this is the linoleum we chose, and we chose it because it was cheap. It was like one of the offcuts, and we're going to put that on the floor in the closet behind us here. And the reason we're putting it in the closet floor is because the water tank, and if the water tank were ever to overflow, we want it to not ruin if it was hardwood or something. So linoleum is made out of plastic essentially, and so it'd be a lot more water resistant if things were to overflow or a leak happened. Also, to help avoid having any damage, we're going to put a hole in the floor right over where the tub is. So the tub is underneath of the closet, and that way if something ever happened and we weren't here and there was a leak and it overflowed, the water would all go down into the tub, and then from the tub into the French drain system and outside. So it's like our backup if something bad ever happened.
First things first, today we need to sand drywall, which is a miserable job, but it needs to be done. So we will sand all the crack filling, and then we will vacuum the crack filling, and then we will put a coat of primer on the drywall. And then after that's dry, we will put a coat of paint, hopefully just one. And then once we have done that, we will then lay our flooring.
Hi, Grampy.
Anyway.
I think I got this whole wall.
Yeah.
No, it's exciting.
Yeah.
First paint in the cabin. I know we were at a finish, end in sight when you're putting paint on the walls. The closet is dry enough with the primer that we can now move on to painting, and we'd like to get that done today. It's starting to get a little bit darker, and it's already dark back here in the closet. We're going to do our best to get this done, and we might have to leave the floor to another day or this evening, but we'll see. The color we chose is called Mochaccino by Beauty Tone, and it's just an eggshell coat. And it's pretty much a white, but with slightly like a warm white. And I want to try this one. It really doesn't matter as a closet what color it is, but it's a color I thought I might try, and if I like it, we could do possibly the bathroom or the kitchen in. So we're gonna get this going. It looks pretty. It is white, but it's like, you know, slightly a color.
I like the color, yeah.
You like it? I like it too. It's not
cream.
too...
It's like a cream.
Yeah, it's not too, like, yellowy, but it's also not too...
Boring.
Bluey. I don't like when it looks like a hospital.
Yeah, I know.
Last little bit.
So we got all the work done in the closet, and now we're on to laying the flooring. Maggie and I have measured how big our piece of flooring needs to be in the closet, and now we are going to cut the linoleum. We're cutting it upside down because it is a grid on the back side, so it helps us to measure and cut a straight line. I'm just using a piece of cedar as a straight edge, and I'm going to cut it with an X-Acto knife. That's how I sliced my knee as a child.
Careful.
So now that we have our piece of linoleum cut to fit, we are going to lay it down. So first we put on this glue, and I'm just using a trowel to put it on the floor. And then we will slowly spread it out and stick it down and unroll it. It's gonna be a little tricky to work around the water tank. So we'll see how this goes. That's as far as I want.
You're doing good. Oh, stack thing. How in the world are you gonna do that?
I have a plan here.
You have a plan.
I always have a plan. Okay, go.
Okay, sit down. After we had the flooring laid, we then decided to put down some trim, and we wanted to use something that was a trim that was pretty water resistant or waterproof. So Eric went and got some Azek. I never heard of it, but apparently it's usually used for trimming outdoor things like around window frames, and it's a plastic product. It's like a synthetic thing, and we decided to use that because it would be similar to the linoleum, more water resistant. And so Eric laid that down, and we're going to be laying a little bead of caulking above and below the trim, and that way it'll just be nice and watertight. Hopefully we'll never need it to actually be water resistant, but just in case, we are prepared. The last thing we'll do is we're going to add that drain in the floor because the tub is underneath of it. However, we'll probably do that when we get to working on the tub and surround situation. We'll probably drill up from downstairs so we know we're actually in the right spot, and we'll finish that out. It feels so good to have one room of our cabin complete. It is just a closet in the back of the cabin, but it feels like we're on the tail end of getting things finished and eventually being ready to move into the cabin. If you're interested in seeing our cabin build come together and following along with our homesteading journey, we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. What are you doing down in the cabin?